Are you ready to find out what happens when the unexpected strikes? Imagine having a great day, and then suddenly, everything takes a turn for the worst. That's exactly what's happening to the US economy right now. It's like adding sand to your favorite cereal, ruining it completely. But, is there a glimmer of hope? Could an unforeseen solution be lurking in the shadows? In today's video, we'll dive into the recent crash of the US economy, the abandonment of the US dollar by half of the world, and the unforeseen solution that could turn the tide. Are you curious to know how this all plays out? Then, buckle up and get ready to join us on an exciting journey. Let's dive right in. What's up with China and Russia? China's yuan has replaced the US dollar as the most traded currency in Russia, a year after the invasion of Ukraine led to a slew of Western sanctions against Moscow. The yuan surpassed the dollar in monthly trading volume in February for the first time, and the difference became more pronounced in March, according to data compiled by Bloomberg based on daily transaction reports from the Moscow exchange. Before the invasion, the yuan's trading volume on the Russian market was negligible. In the aftermath of global financial exclusion, Russia has had to make some strategic adaptations. The West's sanctions had crippling consequences, and the Kremlin scrambled to find alternatives. In light of these developments, China became an important ally, and the yuan, its currency, has taken on a more prominent role. It is telling that in Russia, the yuan has surpassed the United States dollar, USD, in trading volume, a feat achieved a year after the Ukraine conflict, which triggered a series of sanctions against Moscow. As Russia and China band together, one wonders what other shifts will take place and how they will shape the future. The bond between Russia and China is growing stronger, with both nations seeking to bolster their positions on the global stage. Their alliance has spread across various spheres: military, economic, and political. With relations between Russia and the West crumbling, China has emerged as a key partner for Russia, providing it with the necessary support to counter economic and political pressure. On the other hand, China is keen on expanding its global reach, especially in the Eurasian region, and sees Russia as an important ally in this regard. President Xi Jinping's recent visit to Moscow and his pledge to expand cooperation are likely to take this partnership to greater heights. Trade and investment ties are set to grow stronger, with both nations seeking to reduce their dependence on Western economies. Russia's focus on infrastructure development and mega projects is also likely to benefit from China's expertise in these areas. As a result of Western sanctions, Russia has shifted its foreign trade transactions away from the dollar and euro to currencies of non-restricted countries. By doing so, the Kremlin and Russian companies hope to decrease their dependence on the Western financial system and explore new avenues for conducting their trade and economic activities. This shift in strategy reflects Russia's determination to maintain its economic stability despite restrictions on its access to the global financial system. It also underlines the growing importance of alternative currencies in global trade as countries strive to minimize the impact of sanctions and safeguard their economic interests. The US dollar has long been the world's dominant reserve currency, with countries around the world holding large amounts of US dollars as a means of storing value and conducting international trade. However, in recent years there has been a growing trend of countries diversifying away from the US dollar and seeking alternative currencies and assets. One of the key drivers of this trend has been the increasing political and economic tensions between the US and other countries, particularly in the wake of the global financial crisis and subsequent trade disputes. As a result, many countries have sought to reduce their exposure to the US dollar and diversify their holdings into other currencies and assets, such as the euro, the yen, and gold. Another factor contributing to this trend has been the rise of new technologies such as blockchain and cryptocurrencies, which enable greater economic autonomy in self-governance. Some countries have even explored the possibility of creating their own digital currencies as an alternative to traditional fiat currencies such as the US dollar. While the trend of countries diversifying away from the US dollar has been underway for several years, there have been some notable recent developments that have brought the issue into sharper focus. For example, in 2020 Russia announced that it would begin reducing its holdings of US dollars in its sovereign wealth fund, while China has also been actively diversifying away from the US dollar in recent years. Additionally, some countries have sought to bypass the US dollar entirely in international trade. For example, in 2021 Iran and Venezuela announced that they would begin conducting bilateral trade in their own currencies, rather than relying on the US dollar as a means of exchange. This move was seen as a way for the countries to circumvent US sanctions and reduce their dependence on the US dollar. While the trend of countries diversifying away from the US dollar is unlikely to result in the complete abandonment of the currency, it does raise some important questions about the future of the global financial system. For example, if the US dollar were to lose its status as the world's dominant reserve currency, it could have significant implications for global trade and economic stability. Additionally, the trend of countries seeking greater economic autonomy and self-governance through technologies such as blockchain and cryptocurrencies raises important questions about the role of central banks and the future of monetary policy. As new forms of digital currency emerge, it will be important for policymakers to consider the potential implications for financial stability and regulation. Overall, the trend of countries diversifying away from the US dollar is a complex and multifaceted issue that reflects broader trends in the global economy and the rise of new technologies. While there are certainly risks and challenges associated with this trend, it also presents opportunities for greater economic autonomy and self-governance, and could ultimately lead to a more diverse and resilient global financial system. As the trend continues to unfold, it will be important for policymakers and investors to stay abreast of developments and consider the potential implications for their portfolios and the broader economy. The unexpected solution: decentralization. The United States economy has long been considered one of the most decentralized in the world, with power and decision-making distributed among a range of actors such as businesses, government agencies, and individuals. This decentralization has been both a source of strength and a point of controversy throughout the country's history, and continues to be a topic of ongoing debate and discussion today. At its core, decentralization is about distributing power and decision-making among a range of actors, rather than concentrating it in a central authority. In the context of the U.S. economy, this means that businesses, government agencies, and individuals all have a role to play in shaping the direction and outcomes of economic activity. This has led to a diverse and vibrant economic landscape, with a wide range of industries, regions, and actors contributing to the country's overall prosperity. One area where decentralization has been particularly notable in recent years is in the rise of decentralized technologies such as blockchain and cryptocurrencies. These technologies allow for greater economic autonomy and self-governance, as transactions and data are recorded and verified by a distributed network of users rather than a central authority. Decentralization is at the core of blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies. Unlike traditional financial systems that rely on centralized authorities such as banks and governments to facilitate transactions and validate records, blockchain technology enables a distributed network of users to verify transactions and maintain an immutable ledger. This has the potential to disrupt traditional financial systems and enable greater economic autonomy and self-governance. In the context of cryptocurrencies, decentralization means that transactions can be conducted without the need for intermediaries such as banks or payment processors. This enables users to bypass traditional financial institutions and conduct transactions directly with each other, reducing transaction costs and increasing transparency. Additionally, the use of cryptography ensures that transactions are secure and tamper-proof, reducing the risk of fraud or theft. Decentralization has also enabled the rise of decentralized finance, DeFi, applications, which use blockchain technology to enable a range of financial services such as lending, borrowing, and trading without the need for centralized intermediaries. This has the potential to disrupt traditional financial institutions and enable greater financial inclusion for individuals and communities that may have been excluded from traditional financial systems. However, there are also challenges associated with decentralization in the context of blockchain and cryptocurrencies. For example, the lack of centralized authority can make it difficult to enforce regulations and prevent illicit activities such as money laundering and fraud. Additionally, the decentralized nature of the technology can make it difficult to resolve disputes and ensure accountability in the event of a dispute or error. Overall, the decentralization of blockchain and cryptocurrencies has the potential to enable greater economic autonomy and self-governance, while also posing challenges in terms of regulation and accountability. As the technology continues to evolve and new use cases emerge, it will be important to continue exploring the opportunities and challenges associated with decentralization in this context. Another area of interest is the distribution of economic power and wealth across different regions and industries within the US. While some argue that decentralization can lead to greater economic equality and diversity, others point to the concentration of wealth and power in certain areas and industries as evidence of the need for greater centralization and regulation. For example, the tech industry has become increasingly dominant in certain regions such as the San Francisco Bay Area, leading to concerns about rising inequality and housing affordability. Despite these concerns, there are many who argue that decentralization remains a key strength of the US economy. By distributing power and decision-making across a range of actors, the country is able to harness the diverse skills, knowledge, and perspectives of its citizens and businesses, driving innovation and growth in a wide range of industries. Additionally, decentralization can help to promote economic resilience by reducing the risk of a single point of failure in the event of an economic crisis or disruption. In recent years, there has been growing interest in the potential of decentralization to drive social and environmental progress as well. For example, decentralized renewable energy systems can enable communities to generate and distribute their own power, reducing dependence on centralized utilities and promoting greater energy independence and resilience. Similarly, decentralized food systems can help to promote sustainable agriculture and reduce the environmental impact of large-scale industrial farming operations. Overall, the decentralization of the US economy remains a complex and multifaceted topic, with both strengths and weaknesses to be considered. While some argue that greater centralization and regulation may be necessary in certain areas, there is no doubt that the country's decentralized economic landscape has been a key driver of innovation, growth, and prosperity throughout its history. As new technologies and economic models continue to emerge, it will be important to continue the ongoing conversation around decentralization and its role in shaping the future of the US economy. We have come to the end of today's video. What do you think is the way out for the US economy? Will other countries join the trend of ditching the US dollar? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Do well to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon to get notifications whenever we post our next mind-blowing video. See you in the next video. Bye.